Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, May 10th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. Illegal charged, buck suspended, gun jammed, and remains found. It's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, the illegal alien who's accused of killing UGA nursing student Laken Riley was officially indicted, charged with murder, aggravated assault with intent to rape, and also a charge for an earlier incident where he allegedly peeped into the window of another student. 10 charges in all. Of course, he never should have been in the country. This is the third time he has been arrested, once for endangering the welfare of a child in Queens, New York, another time for a misdemeanor shoplifting charge in Athens, Georgia. Stole from a Walmart. His brother was arrested a month before on a DUI charge. Milwaukee Bucks basketball player Patrick Beverley in the last few minutes of a playoff game. There's video of him tossing the ball into the stands. He hit a woman in the head 3 rows back. Then some guy in the second row picked up the ball and gently tossed it back to Beverley. He assumed it was some mistake and Beverley was asking for the ball back. And as soon as he caught it, he chucked it back at the guy. He's been suspended without pay for 4 games. But the Bucks are out of the playoffs, and he's an unrestricted free agent, so he may never play another game anyway. After the game, he refused to talk to an ESPN reporter because you don't subscribe to my pod. A pastor was delivering his sermon in a church outside Pittsburgh when a man came up to him and pointed a gun, pulled the trigger. Another man in the congregation said, "I heard it click, and I thought, oh my God, thank God that gun jammed." He then got up and tackled the would-be murderer. Police searched the man's apartment, found the body of his 56-year-old cousin. As the murderer was being subdued, the pastor told him, "I forgive you, and I want you to know I love you." A World War II pilot who took off from Tunisia to attack the enemy in Sicily and was met with anti-aircraft fire. Another pilot saw his plane suddenly veer skyward before rolling halfway over and plummeting to the ground. No evidence was found that he ever deployed his parachute, and no remains were ever found. Until now, 80 years later. He has one surviving relative, a 79-year-old half-sister. She says her family never lost hope that his remains would be found. Welcome home, Second Lieutenant Alan Nepper. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bill O'Reilly has your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, the opening days of the Trump hush money trial this week were an embarrassment for the state of New York. Stormy Daniels' testimony suited her profession, and jury members had to feel uneasy, even if they don't like Trump. The attorneys for the former president were mediocre, completely overlooking the essential question. Why is Stormy Daniels even in the courtroom? Why did she seek payment for a social interaction? If the socializing took place in 2006, why did she wait until a few days before the election of 2016 to make monetary demands? Even though those questions were not precisely asked, the jury knows the obvious answers. So now I believe the odds of a hung jury are in Trump's favor. On his radio program, Sean Hannity disagreed with me, saying Trump will be convicted of election violations in New York. But my reasoning is this. Out of 12 human beings, the heavy odds are some jurors will be honest. They will be offended by Daniels and the prosecution's obvious political motivation. Few observers even understand the underlying crime. I just can't see 12 people condoning this massive display of injustice. Obviously, I could be wrong, as Trump hatred is deep-rooted. But with the revolting Michael Cohen on the stand soon, I ask a simple question. How much of this seamy garbage can a jury take? I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Let's go to the mail. We got Wayne, a concierge member. We implore you, for your own good, to check out concierge membership on BillO'Reilly.com. Stormy Daniels extorted $30,000 from President Trump, says Wayne. Why isn't she in jail? Because Trump didn't file charges. Got to file charges. Christopher Haggerty, Winchester, Virginia. Bill, any chance you might be commenting on the 5 candidates for the Virginia Republican primary Senate race? No chance. We don't do local and state races. Can't possibly do that and bring you all the news that affects your life directly. I meet people in Idaho, they care about what the primary system is in Virginia? No. Eric Eisenhower, Dallas, Texas. But when you first announced you would be appearing on Cuomo, I thought you had lost your mind, but now I understand why you do it. I'm very glad you do. Love watching the segment each week. It's really worked out. I think for Cuomo, for me, we get totally different audience out there, and they hear some common sense. James Milner, Keswick, Virginia. Bill, please get this straight. When Trump said there are fine people on both sides in Charlottesville, was he talking about white supremacists and counter-protesters? Was when he talking about the removal of the Confederate statues? So I've gone over this 4,987 times, James. That's how many times I've gone over this. It's in the United States of Trump, the book I wrote about him. I can't do it every day. Now, it's obviously about the Confederate statue, but I know you can't watch all the time. But if you are a premium member of BillO'Reilly.com, you get a transcript of anything. All you have to do is Google O'Reilly Trump Charlottesville. Boom, it comes right up. We're trying to make it as easy as we can. In a moment, something you might not know. Your safety is important, and I am happy to introduce you to Byrna, a self-defense solution that will help keep you and your family safe. Byrna offers a powerful, non-lethal pistol with tear gas, pepper, irritants, and kinetic projectiles that disable attackers for 30 to 40 minutes. It's all legal in every state, and no background checks are required. And they ship directly to your door, very private. They are American-made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and are trusted by U.S. government agencies and hundreds of police departments. If you are a gun owner, you need options. Avoid the complexities that come with taking a life and having to defend your freedom in court. And if you're adverse to firearms, Byrna is a good alternative solution. So please visit Byrna.com/Bill to receive a 10% discount. That's BYRNA.com/Bill. Stay safe with Byrna. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 48 years ago today, a radio segment that began during World War II debuted as a standalone radio program. It featured one of the most influential broadcasters of all time. Here is the story of Paul Harvey. Born September 1918, Harvey descended from 5 generations of Baptist preachers. He was raised by a single mother after his father, a police officer, was shot dead by robbers in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At age 14, Paul Harvey landed a job doing menial tasks at a local radio station. But by his 25th birthday, he was on the air and worked at a number of affiliates across the Midwest. In 1951, His program, Paul Harvey News and Comment, was broadcast by ABC. The rest of the story with Paul Harvey debuted on May 10th, 1976.
Well, now you know the rest of the story.
Harvey's mix of current events, news, and common sense editorials reached, at its height, 24 million listeners every day. He was known by his catchphrases used at the beginning of each program, such as, "Hello, Americans, this is Paul Harvey." That was terrible, I admit it. Maybe this will be better. "Stand by for news." Harvey always ended with, "Paul Harvey, good day." A little bit better. Now, Harvey's speeches on religion, farming, and the American spirit have been viewed more than 25 million times on YouTube and have appeared in dozens of commercials, including 2 Super Bowl ads. Paul Harvey remained on the air until his death in 2009 at 90 years old. And here's something else you might not know. Harvey's honest approach to the news and current events has had a lasting impact on nearly all broadcasters, including this one, the O'Reilly Update, and the content we bring to our listeners on hundreds of radio stations across North America and the world. And now, you know the rest of the story. Back after this. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.